I'm going to go into one of my philosophies, which I call the steps and stages of philosophy creation. So the first thing that I would say you start off with, quite often that I start off with, what I basically sometimes do is I start off with a concept, so an idea. So sometimes I could have like a simple idea, and then I would apply logic to it, or reasoning and theory to it, and I could develop a small little idea into a full blown theory by thinking about it for the idea for a long period of time, and then eventually you develop it through reasoning to become a theory, and then if you develop a theory far enough, it becomes a philosophy. So the first step is an idea, the second is applying theory, and the third is when it develops into being a philosophy, when it becomes like much bigger and more detailed and stuff like that. So when you've actually done creating philosophy, or a philosophy, sorry, a philosopher's work is never done, and no philosophy is ever complete, because once you've created a philosophy, then you got to think about application, and application is the next stage. So then you got to think about in what different situations in society, in reality, can I apply this particular theory and philosophy. So you've always got to remember what areas of life and situations and events can I apply a philosophy to. So that stage is the stage of application. What are the steps are there? So I've done concept, developing theory, philosophy, application. And the next one, I think, is one of the most important, is you've always got to remember, and a lot of these are going to be these are things you've got to remember as well once you've created philosophy and stuff like that. Once you've created a philosophy. So you've always got to think of, so you've always got to remember, what is the purpose of this philosophy? What is it trying to achieve? What problem is it trying to solve? What is it trying to help you to understand? So you've always got to remember the purpose of the philosophy and every philosophy. So I think originally that's all I had, was those 5 or 6 different elements. And for a while, I didn't actually have many more different stages and different things you gotta remember and stuff like that for quite a while. But one day I was in the zone, like I often do, or as I often am, and I was just kind of like thinking about, after a philosophy is done, what else can you do? And then I was just on a roll, and just like, I could do this one, I could do that one, I can do this one, I could do debate, I could do arguing, I could do spreading. And so anyway, so then I started creating all the next ones. So one of the things I just mentioned is, once you've created a philosophy, it's important that you actually debate the philosophy, because debating your philosophy, having a person adding counters to your philosophy, can actually help you to fix your philosophy and make it better. So debating and arguing the philosophy helps you to fix the flaws of your philosophy. and that's what that's what a true debate's purpose is meant to be. Both people aren't meant to come in from enemies, but as allies within philosophy. They're meant to improve each other's understanding and improve each other's philosophies. But I will have to admit, I don't have much experience debating my philosophies because I have like what I call a reactive brain because of like the OCPD, problems with mental control. My brain thinks about things all the time, and sometimes I can actually argue against myself because my brain just like has a will of its own and starts thinking on its own. It just starts like sometimes it's like a literal like visualization of a person would be arguing against me. So I've actually like trained myself somehow to argue against myself in a weird way. So I haven't had much debate arguing my philosophies, but you know, every now and again I do actually come up with counters to my philosophies. Like when it comes to my influence theory, I was just like, well, what exactly counts as a philosophy? What exact influence theory? What exactly counts as an influence? So then other things is just like you got spreading stage of philosophy, and the spreading stage is where you basically trying to spread the word and about your philosophy and basically explain and spread your philosophy to every person, to as many people as you possibly can. So spreading your philosophy is important. And in the modern day, you gotta understand that you gotta use all different types of media, including digital media, in order to get your philosophies across. So just like if you're gonna be, I haven't done committed to this yet, but create as many different philosophical channels and as many different platforms as you can. And obviously, you want to do TV appearances, seminars, debates. You've got to spread your philosophies far and wide. That's important for you to do as well. So I think, without going into the list on my phone, that's going to be it for the stages of philosophy creation. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more philosophy, self-created philosophy, politics, theologianism, as in divine theory, or whatever I call it, tune in more to the Pioneer of True Centrism show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And you can also hype the video as well and share the video. And please subscribe, I'll much appreciate it. So, I was thinking I would just carry on trying to think of different stages, but I'm not sure what other ones there are. Bonus, fixing flaws. Fixing flaws of your philosophy. So sometimes you gotta think about flaws of your philosophy, what errors there are. Debating helps you to do that. And also just thinking and revisiting your philosophies and adapting it, changing it, fixing flaws, errors. And things like that. And eventually, you just gotta take your time and wait for your brain to be in the mode or the zone. So fixing the flaws is another stage as well. Is that it? I think so. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. So that's going to be it. Remember, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.